Whereas France, you pretty much know what France are going to be. I mean, they're always going to be there, contending for a spot on the podium, and maybe they're the team to beat. Maybe they're the team that everybody expects to get to the final now. Anyway, we can talk more about that in just a minute. But first, the playing of the national anthems, Belgium and France. Well, Coach Mestag, Coach Garnier renew acquaintances at midcourt. The players do as well. Of course, they know each other well. Some of them play in France. Some of them play on other teams, play against each other. And we'll get a good look at the referees for this quarterfinal. They're all important to the quarterfinals. Well, we got a glimpse of them. I think we're going to go back to them in just a second. Yasmina Yodas from Serbia will be posting up in the middle. There she is. Also, Andrei Karapa from Belarus and Tasa Maric also from Serbia. So, we know two of the semifinalists, and the winner of this game will advance to face Great Britain. And we're just under 3 minutes away from starting. We're going to get a look at the rosters for both teams. It really is difficult for me to get a feel for this game. You know, France are just like a machine, but this Belgium team, maybe they're just saving their best for the most important parts of the tournament. Emma Messamon, certainly one of the protagonists for them. And you can see her at number 11. Antonia Delare, perhaps an important figure in a game like this. Kim Mestag, she had some highs and lows. And Waters, the veteran, you know, she's important. I really think in this case, Rahman, who I think is going to start. No, she's not. So she'll come off the bench. The Lenskins will start. Delare, Kim Mestag, Messamon, and Alamon. But I think it's all hands on deck for Belgium today. And Julie Alamon, we talked about how she had struggled in the group phase, the group of death, and then she came out and poured in 25 points. And really put Belgium on her back, especially in the first half. I mean, she hit a key three-pointer late in that game against Slovenia. And I'll turn it over to you for France. So you can talk some.
Yeah, I mean, really, France, they have 12 players who could start for them. Olivia Copa, I think, has been great for them so far in this tournament. You have Valeria Yahi, for me, it's her turn. It's her time to be a leader and lead this team. And then you have the ever-enjoyable Marie Joannes. Here's the starting lineup. Olivia Popa, Envy Miam, the captain, veteran, Sandrine Gruda, Valeria Yai, and Bria Hartley. So really, Gruda is synonymous with France basketball, and she's been a leader for so long. Here she is, 10.3 points, 2.3 assists, and a little over 5.5 rebounds. So really, they have so many weapons that they don't need to. There's Coach Philip Vestag for Belgium. They don't need to rely on one or two players, France, because they have so many weapons. It's just, if they can put together a 40-minute game, I think is going to be the big question. And you know what? Belgium's tired. So if I'm France and you know you have a deep bench, you go. You pick up Phil Court, you run, you play enjoyable basketball, you take open shots early because you know you're going to get a substitution. Here's Coach Valerie Garnier. She's been around. She took over after 2013 for them. So really, I think this is France's game to win. Or, if they lose, it'll be France's game that they lost.
We saw Belgium dig themselves an early hole against Slovenia. I think they were down, 20-10 at the end of the first quarter. It could have been much, much worse. And they needed every ounce of energy and everything to get to the finish line, and they barely hung on. They finally took the lead. They actually took the lead by halftime, but they needed every ounce of energy and everything else, every point to hold on to beat Slovenia. So they're looking for a much improved performance. Well, good evening, folks. The first game of the evening just turned 6 o'clock here in Belgrade of this FIBA Women's EuroBasket 2019. It's France against Belgium, and Gruda takes it down low and goes right at Linskens. A lot of very confident move there.
And good job by Gruda. I mean, Linskens, that's a tough matchup for her, but she played good defense. It was just a better shot by Gruda.
Alamand pulling up her dribble. Good D by France, making life difficult here for Belgium. Messamon makes the pass, and they stayed patient, and Mesdag missed the layup.
And how many layups did we see them miss 2 nights ago?
And then immediately they are punished as Yayi drills a three-pointer. Who knows? Could be headed for another French-Spanish title showdown. Linskens. Of course, Serbia will have something to say about that. The ball goes off to Linskens, and that slow start that we saw the other night for Belgium, it looks like they're about to have the same slow start tonight. And I don't think they'll recover if they do. They fall into a big hole here against this talented and experienced French team. And also a French team now that has the exciting Bria Hartley who has the ball in his 18. Bounce pass. And really will go to the line. So really could not have started any worse for this Belgian team. And what's really interesting, I think at some point, you can see at the bottom of the screen some white shirts filing in. That is the Great Britain's women team. They will face the winner of this game in the semifinals, and they are getting excellent seats. They usually sit in the player section, but maybe they are going to go to the player section. Oh yeah, I thought they were going to get two good
VIP
seats.
passes.
Yeah, Alamand drives in and draws the foul. So just as happened the other night, it's Alamand to the rescue.
You know, Slovenia's defensive scouting plan was, you know what, let's make Alamand beat us. And
she did.
She did. Plain and simple, she did.
Well, they kind of beat themselves as well.
Yes, but you know, they forced her to shoot. They kind of bet on her not making them. You saw a little bit of hesitation at certain points in the game, but I mean, she finished with 25 points.
Well, that's better. Well, I was going to say Linskin's getting an offensive rebound, but in the end she did because Mian came in. And now Bria Hartley, who quite clearly brings a different dimension to this French team. The ball goes out of bounds, but a foul has been called in Belgium. Guilty of the foul. Yayi baseline, whips it back out to Hartley, who played at the University of Connecticut for Gino Auriemma. And then she ran in and traveled after bumping into her teammate, Gruda. Were you surprised the naturalization of Hartley?
A little bit, knowing a lot of living in France for 7 years now.
And now the turnover by Messamon. Yayi goes in and scores with the left hand. Mistakes are punished.
And I said, you know what, France should play fast because they have such a deep bench, and I question how fatigued this Belgium team is. So that's what we've seen early from them, and I like it. I like the way France is playing. Why not? You know, they're scoring 77, just under 78 points a game, which is that's a lot of points, especially for a France team. It's not, you know, usually French basketball, they play a little bit slower.
Well, that was a little bit better from Belgium, forcing a turnover and then an unforced turnover. Alamon thinking Delar was going to come in, and instead was popping out. Look at this.
And those are the kind of turnovers that, you know, we haven't seen Belgium commit in the last 2 summers. It's like they're just not as in sync as they were, especially last year.
Gruda with the shot clock winding down, and Messamon steps over in front of Gruda, forced the turnover. In the pass to Messamon, and finally an easy one and a field goal. Rita Hartley. Oh, double dribble. She thought she had lost control of it, I guess, and thought she could dribble again. Look at this. So here she is. So, yeah, she's dribbling. She picks it up. She had possession. Then she started to dribble again. Alamon drives right down the lane, hands it off much better, but the block by Yayi. The length of Yayi. Now Epupa turns it over, and that leads to a fast break opportunity for Alamon, who's not going to be caught by Gruda. And a little bit of a crazy game unfolding here before us with some mistakes.
Both these teams are punishing each other when they make mistakes. Here you see fast break points, 5 for France, 4 for Belgium.
Gruda, silky smooth.
How many times have we seen that move by her during her illustrious career? I mean, there are some really women's basketball stars in this tournament.
And good defense from Hartley. And Linskin's just a step slow there, and Hartley faked. She paused, and then she went to the basket. And Mestag has seen enough. He is going to call timeout. So with 5:18 remaining in the game, the teams retreat to the benches. And I think it would be good as we look at this block by Ayayi to go to the benches and listen in.
And you're in number 0, please open up your stance the moment here. This one is coming into the ball. All right, come on guys, 31, eh? Hey, we go fluid now. And offense. Defense, we do just same, but we just need to be a little bit tougher in the one-on-one. Okay, we go in and come down. Okay? So, let's work.
See the field goal shooting in France's favor.
One.
Seems to be more of a sense of point of purpose about this France team. Yayi obviously blossoming, as you said, the early women Final Four. I mean, if you make it to the Final Four and you're a leading player from one of your teams, that pretty much says it all, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, Yayi with USK Praha, she had one of her best seasons professionally. And, you know, she was a big part of that team that made it to the Final Four, like you said. And that's why I think it's her year to step up and lead this team and, you know, be a scorer.
Wow. Nessamon got it to Alamont, and she missed the layup. And Coach Mestag, Philippe Mestag, might have a few more gray hairs by the end of the night. The way this is going. This team trailing 13-5. Good hustle by Alamont. And it'll be Belgian basketball. And the rule is that Pupa kicked the ball, which you're not allowed to do, obviously. You're not in this round ball sport. Mestag launches a three. You know, with Mestag, I think they're going to have to live with her or die with her, really. Here's Bria Hartley. Good! And that right there is a microcosm of the way this game is going. A 6-point swing.
And another turnover by Belgium. Just really, I think you see Mestag, Kim Mestag and Julie Allemund are coming out, and Caprio and Van Loo are coming in. I think Coach Mestag is more upset with Kim, his daughter, on that last defensive play because she tried to cheat and Bria Hartley was just smart. Bria Hartley's a shooter, and with shooters you have to follow them and use the screen exactly the way that they use the screen.
Miam missed from deep. And now Caprio is called for a push down on the boards. Watch her boxing out. Oh, she held a Pupa. That's what it was. So Pupa bounce pass to Mia. And now Caprio again. They're getting tangled up in there. Has to be careful she doesn't get enough sportsmanlike.
Yeah, and you know, those who know her, she is very feisty. But, I mean, she's small. She's the smallest player out there, her and Ipupa. You have to play a certain way to be competitive and to make it at this level.
And she's clearly not at her best, having been injured for the latter part of the season. And another turnover. Turnovers becoming a problem for Belgium. Charteroux, three-pointer, and France with the wind in their sails here early, a 14-point advantage.
And really, it's the pace that they're playing at, and that's what they need to play with. And like I said, they have such a deep bench. Go, attack. Try and put Belgium away, and then you have a beautiful turnaround by one of the best players in the world.
That's Aman. Pupa drives in, scores. Everything looks easy right now for France. Pass to Messamon, and she was bumped by Miam, so a couple of free throws. That was better for Belgium. First one is good for Messamon. Again, they trailed Slovenia you know, early on and really looked like they were going to crash out in that game, and they were able to come back. But France, obviously different opposition, especially just look at it in the world rankings perspective. France, number 4 in the FIBA world ranking, presented by Nike. And Belgium are number 16.
And keep in mind, those world rankings are also based on your youth level.
Well, it's more of like a 6-year cycle.
Yeah.
And the drive is good. So you get so many points for playing at the FIBA World Championships for women, or the FIBA Women's Basketball World Cup, the Olympic basketball tournaments for women, and then for the zone championships. And then say if you win or you get a medal, you get more points. You get more points if you finish 5th and 9th.
So I do think we'll see Belgium's ranking go up in the next cycle, like you said.
Van Loo off the back of the iron. Hartley back in, brings it up. Also Rahman in for Belgium. And Charteroux misses the layup. And just like we said for Slovenia, this game could already be a 20-point deficit easily for Belgium. And now a break as Mestag gets fouled while attempting a three-pointer. What was Charteroux doing there?
She just didn't stop.
Mestag needs something, anything, to get her going as we get that viewpoint from the spider cam. Now it's a different angle.
And yeah, you know, you mentioned that Belgium did get down against Slovenia, and then they made a little bit of a run late in the first quarter, but they were down 10 points. And they came back and won that game. So they have crawled back and won games before, but it's incredibly tiring to do that as well. And sometimes, you know, the clock becomes your enemy.
Ayayi, quick three-pointer. So that probably helps. And sure enough, Rahman goes in, and hasn't she played well at this EuroBasket? She's been terrific. And just like that, they cut the 15-point deficit to 10. And Valerie Garnier decides to call timeout. Look at this again. And it all started with Charteroux's foul on Mestag attempting the three-pointer.
Yeah, and then, you
the
know,
quick three attempt by Ayayi.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think it was a quick three attempt from Ayayi.
Et il n'y a pas hésité, Mestag elle est là, on s'en fout de qui est à l'intérieur. Notamment, vous étiez 2 grandes joueuses, donc c'était pas gênant. D'accord? Ici,
France,
on se
10
repose
points
en attaque
in the
s'il y a
paint,
besoin.
Belgium
On
6.
monte vite pour passer la ligne, mais après, on se repose. D'accord? Il y a un geste pour Marine ici. Geste pour Marine. D'accord? Défense. Tu promets...
That is meestal one of the bigs. This is one of the bigs. All right, push them to the side. And as we go back, right? Don't take risks right now. And the press.
9
just
fast break
control
points. That's
after the
unusual,
zone
isn't
defense.
it?
Come on, one.
Being down 10 points, but he's got 9 of them on fast breaks.
But you know what? A few of those just came recently in the last couple minutes, though. France had five fast break points in the first 2 minutes of the game.
She's playing well. She is exciting to watch. Here she is at the Bria Hartley. And coming right out of the timeout.
But really right now, France have all 5 of their players can shoot threes. So going into a zone is kind of risky when, I mean, Badjian, you see guarding Rahman there. Good defense by Bria Hartley to force the turnover and get the steal. And look at that.
Badian misses a layup.
For me, Badjian, she hasn't played a whole lot in this tournament, but in all of the lead-up games and the friendly games, she was the best player and the most consistent player for France.
And Waters. Goes up against Charteroux, and that was good. I'll tell you what, ever since she came back in for the second spell of the last game against Slovenia, she's been a different player. It's kind of like she just kind of reminded herself of how she needed to play for this Belgian team. Here's Bria Hartley. And that is it at the end of the quarter. It was not all France, but it was mostly France. They lead at 27-16.
Get a quick look at stats at the end of the first. Really a game of runs. France almost looked like they were going to run away with it. France shooting 60% compared to 56% for Belgium. A couple early turnovers for both teams. Look at that, 6 to 7 from the free throw line for Belgium. Really, that's what kept them in it.
Well, France with a brighter start. Belgium, however, having trailed in this game by as many as, I'm just double checking that for you real quickly, as 15 points. They're down by 11. And, you know, you go back to your comments at the beginning of the game, you know, you kind of feel like this is France's game to win. And if they don't win, it's down to France.
Yeah, exactly, Jeff. You know, 3 days off in a high-intensity tournament. And, you know, in the qualification game for Belgium, I said that they looked incredibly physically fatigued and also mentally fatigued. And I think France has done a good job of kind of just jumping out and attacking them and making them maybe play a little faster than they want to.
Mestdagh for three. Well, she had the 3 free throws, and now that's her first three-pointer of the game. And the deficit is single digits. Her sister Hannah Mestdagh also out there, number 22, coming out from Chavignon. Now Johannes. Chavignon, bounce pass, Badian. Wow.
Yeah. When France attack and when France kind of play with a little bit of freedom, they're really enjoyable to watch. And you see them playing with a lot of confidence right now.
Messerman catches it and scores with ease. Well, I think Belgium were being helped a little bit by France's some quick shots from jumpers in that first quarter. And let's see if France make a commitment to going inside. Here's Johannes back outside, right into the hands of Julie Alamand. And Julie Alamand misses, but a push-off called on Charteroux. And she is wide open, Alamand, so
It's not bad. I mean,
it's a reprieve for France, really, because she was hitting that shot against Slovenia.
Not a horrible shot attempt by her. Like you said, she was on fire the last game. She was 4-7 from three-point land. And, I mean, Rahman had also great rebounding position, and they got it back, so it worked out.
Good pressure by Epupa. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Alamand inbounds it to Messaman. And then the ball bounced over the head of Alamand into the hands of Gruda. Gruda from three-point range. Nope, that was a long two. She shot the ball very well tonight.
She has, and what's kind of interesting is that
Messaman and gets rejected by Gruda, and then a little bit of a stare down by Gruda.
I feel like Gruda actually probably could have saved the ball here, but instead she wanted to turn around and
that was weak stuff.
I mean,
those
two athletes know so much about each other. They've played against each other for quite a few years now in EuroLeague.
And now foul called, is it Chauvignon?
Played against each other on the national team, so
yeah,
they're very well acquainted with each other's abilities. And
they're probably the two least likely people to ever get into any type of trash talk. The foul, and Rahman, who is so good when she puts the ball on the deck and goes to the basket.
Yeah, you and I thought she kind of settled for 3-pointers actually in that Slovenia game when...
Not too many, but 1 or 2.
She had 2 air balls.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're right.
In the same quarter, I think, also. So that's what's sort of sticking out to me right now. And then when she did put the ball on the deck, she either scored or she made the right decision out of it.
Oh, good job. Mestag sneaking in for the rebound. And then Rahman goes up, and that is a breakdown for France. That is going to tick Valerie Garnier off.
Yeah,
as Belgium get it back to 7.
That was Kim Mestag who was able to sneak under Andy Miam.
Chauvignon. No. And France starting to lose their way a little bit. And now the pass again to Alemán, who has a height advantage on Akupa, but brings it back out. Oh boy, Alemán's pass. She's got to make a better entry pass than that. And Akupa quickly to the other end. And then the scrap for the ball. They're letting them play.
And, you know, I thought that was a great steal by Akupa. I mean, she probably didn't get awarded the steal, but she was the one who tipped it, and then it went into Andy Miam's hands. Outlet, and maybe not the wisest choice of that layup.
Wow, backdoor to Mestag, and the lead has been cut to just 5 points.
Great job with the backdoor there. I mean, when teams are pressuring you and denying the pass, best way to break it is with a backdoor.
Gruda drives in, scrap for the ball. Johannes was in position, and Belgium have the basketball back. Well, the second quarter for them has been good, hasn't it, the last couple of games? Belgium have outscored France in this quarter 10-4. And now the pass to Mestag, who turns and misses. Rahman doing the dirty work again, getting in there, getting the rebound. Wow, she is tenacious, isn't she?
Yeah, she is. She just, statistically, she doesn't do a lot. You know, she's not high scorer, but right there, she just works hard, and she continues to work and fight.
They need to be tough right now. That's where they have to beat France. I mean, they can't be pushed around. And it's given some other opportunities. Messamon, that was an air ball, but it fell to Hannah Mestag. And this time, Akupa boxes out, and the ball goes back over to France. Waters is going to come back into the game. Johannes goes out, and Bria Hartley comes back in.
And so this is, you know, 5:47 left in the second quarter, and Johannes hasn't even attempted a shot.
Yeah,
and she only shot 3 times in their last game against, sorry, who did they play? Their last game was against Sweden. And she only shot 3 times, and Johannes is, I mean, she is exciting, and she's a scorer. Plain and simple, she's a scorer. So the fact that, you know, Belgium have gone on a little bit of a run. They've cut the lead to only 5 points. How come Marine Johannes, one of the best players in France, has not even attempted a shot yet?
It is a big question that needs to be answered. Maybe somebody will ask in the press conference. Well, rebound, outlet to Alamon, 104. She'll probably hold it up. Yes, she does. Entry pass, and Epupa reaches in, and quite possibly an exaggerated fall. Draws the foul.
You know, I keep saying that there's a term, and it's called a veteran move. And that was kind of one of them. You exaggerate a little, you know, post players hold a little, and it's just kind of those veteran moves that you see experienced players do.
So this is interesting. 5 fouls have been committed by France in this quarter. None for Belgium. And you know what that means? They're over the limit.
Yeah, every time.
Free throws.
You know, yeah, exactly. So Belgium, you know, could cut into this lead. There's still 5:12 left, and every foul here on out, Belgium are going to have the chance to shoot 2 free throws.
Yayi, that's too long. Into the hands of, and now that was a careless pass by Mestag. Trying to get it to Alamon. Just threw it away. Yayi. And that is a travel. Boy, they are lucky there, Belgium. Because that could have been a disaster, turning the ball over and then getting a 3-point play. 9 turnovers for Belgium, 7 for France. And great point about Johannes. You know, you're talking about a player that was one of the French stars at the last Olympics. Kind of not really at the races right now. So that was the travel on the Yayi.
Montant dans l'axe, le cœur, là, tu vas ressortir le snap.
C'est juste parce qu'on a des difficultés.
11 assists for Belgium. 9 turnovers, 9
9
assists for France, 7 turnovers.
To be ready. Over the basket line. Okay? When this one goes, the takeoff, the cutoff. Alright? Okay? We do it once, and after we come back. Okay? We go in a 4 up. 4 up. Okay, pass it to 1. Kim, you go. Back pick for Emma. After the handoff. I mean, you know the situation.
Well, you saw the advantage in that graphic.
You're back.
The advantage in rebounds to Belgium, and Mestag now has 10 points, and she's a perfect 5 of 5 from the free throw line.
And really, before this game, you know, I kind of said I think it's going to be exciting to watch Kim Mestag and Marie Johannes go against each other. And talk a little bit more about Johannes. You know, the World Cup, she averaged over 10 points a game. This year with Bourges in EuroLeague, she was over 15 points a game. And, you know, she is one of the better scorers for this French team. And it just surprises me that she hasn't even shot. I don't want her to force shots, but I don't know if it's a lack of confidence or they're not even looking for her.
Well, that attempt goes off the front of the rim, and here comes Epupa. Let's see if a new France has emerged from the huddle during the timeout. Bria Hartley just caused problems in the first quarter. Here's Epupa. Oh, nice shifty move. Oh, but then missed the layup. Pass to Messamon. Was kind of falling down. She thought she was going to make it. Epupa just kind of loses control. Mestag sneaks in there, hustles, gets it back. Bria Hartley has it. 4 on the shot clock. She puts it up from a long way out and just grazes the outside of the net.
Yeah, I actually think she had a little bit more time. She didn't need to go to that shot. She could have taken a few. She could have even drove to the basket because Belgium were in a closeout, hustle, scramble type situation.
It seemed that Belgium were completely out of sync in the first quarter, and now you can say the same about France. Mestag hands it off to Delar, and now it's a 1-point game. The Belgian Cats have clawed their way back into this. And Waters guarding down low. Garuda giving him big minutes here, the veteran. Now she switches. The bounce pass to Garuda. Ayayi crashes the boards, but it's Dalar who comes up with it. And she needs to hold it up. And she whips the ball over to Mestag. Alamon drives in, makes the shot, and draws the foul. Belgium have taken the lead.
Who would have thought that at the end of the first quarter, Jeff? I'm here, good job by Alamon, and the finish too, great finish with the foul. France just need to calm down. I mean, what was working for them earlier? You knew Belgium was going to come back. They weren't just going to fold and, you know, let France run away with this game, because Belgium 100% that they can win also. But France, where have you gone? I mean, I think they're not getting great shots on offense. Belgium are playing better defense, but
well, this is
they're settling. They're starting to settle. They were hitting shots early in the game. And look at this, field goals this quarter, 2 of 10 for France compared to 6 of 14 for Belgium.
Hartley, mid-range, Alamon with the rebound. It's just bizarre how France have just completely lost their rhythm. Some questionable decisions, perhaps. Shots taken. Belgium much more better idea of what they want to do. And that was a little bit too long from Kim Mestag. Hartley back to Ayayi Akupa for 3. There you go. Nope, that was a 2, but nevertheless, he was open. And Philippe Mestag calls timeout here with 1:45 to go. I'm sure Akupa thought she was going to get a 3-pointer for that, but her toe was on the line.
We are back in the game. We go in the four-side, but surely you will bring up the
Belgium,
ball.
a lot of damage at the free throw line.
Have a two-man's play on the side with you two. Okay? Yeah, okay. We have this, so I'm not coming to the ball. Okay?
Oui, parce qu'elle est derrière, donc il faut qu'elle soit au-dessus avec Mestag. Tu comprends? Non, avec Allemand, là, tu vois le dernier là.
Pretty equal from the bench.
De toute façon, quand vous switchez, il faut le faire vraiment. Il faut vraiment switcher. Oh! Quand vous switchez, vous regardez. Allez, 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 allez. Allez là!
Let's go.
Akupa with that last basket now has 4 points.
And you know, Jeff, during that timeout, we saw that stat from the free throw line. Belgium are shooting 9 of 12 from the free throw line. And what I like is that they've been 12 times already, and that just shows you that they're being aggressive. And they're an incredibly good free throw shooting team, just under 83%. So they're not a team that you want to foul and put to the line.
Alamon over to Messaman. Didn't quite have the angle she wanted. France back on top and with possession. Garuda baseline. That's better. Low in the game with her long, bushy ponytail. She's got the ball now. Well, that was a tough catch. And Waters' attempt off the rim
not a great offensive attack by Belgium. I'm sure Coach Mestag's not too happy about that last trip down the floor on offense for them.
Well, things have kind of dried up for them on that end of the floor the last few possessions. Yayi, and good block by Messamon right at the end of that move, and now Belgium will try to hold it for one. Aramon somehow gets inside, but he gets swatted by Indy Miam, so that's how the first half finishes. Hard to know what to make of that. It is a close game. On the one hand, you feel like France perhaps have let a big opportunity go by putting this game away early. You see Miam getting the swat at the end, and France lead at 35-32.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm Belgium and I'm only down 3 points after the first half that they had, I gotta feel pretty good about myself. Because they did come back and actually have the lead, a 1 point lead for you know, a few seconds there. Here you see the shooting. Everything's pretty equal except for, well, I mean, France shooting the 3-point ball very well, 44%, but it's the free throw attempts. I mean, France are just giving them a chance. And then here you have the rebounding. I mean, there's a reason why it's only a 3-point game. They're shooting, both teams are shooting the ball okay. I think both teams have had a little unforced turnovers, which is something they got to clean up. Here you see the top scorers, Mestag and Gruda with 10 points. Messamon only has 8, and in my opinion, she's missed a lot of shots that you and I have not seen her miss those kind of shots recently. She's only 3 of 10 in the game. So for her to have 8 points is pretty good, to be honest. And she's had good looks. She should honestly have about 14, 16 points in my opinion right now. So, I mean, if you're her, she's not going to miss those on a continuous basis. She's one of, you know, this tournament, she's shooting over 56%. For her career, she's over a 50% shooter. So, you know, eventually I think her shots are going to fall. And really, I thought Belgium did a great job. It started with defense, and then, you know, that defense led them to some fast break movement opportunities, and they were able to capitalize on offense. And to be down 3 after, you know, that first quarter, which was not pretty for Belgium, they're not in a bad spot at all, Jeff.
They're not. I think best case scenario for Belgium right now is, though, that it's going to be close at the end. I think, go back to your point at the very beginning of the game, if France can do what they want to do, but they just completely got taken out of their game.
You know, France right now, they have, literally, when I say they have 12 players, they have 12 players who can play. You know, 10 for sure, and then they have the 2 young kids in Rupert and Foto. But run. And, you know, yeah, it was great when you were knocking down shots in transition. Threes, here you see a 3 by Ayayi. That was early on in the game. You know, they were attacking, and then they kind of went cold a little bit, and I think started to settle for too many outside shots, and maybe we're playing a little bit too fast and ill-advised shots early when you have missed, you know, consecutive outside shots. Slow it down every now and then, and I'm telling them to play fast and enjoy and have fun and attack, but when you've missed a few in a row, that's the time where you need to slow it down. You need to run something. You need to get a shot inside the paint. And then another thing for me is, where is Joanna?
Yeah, this is the most troubling.
She has to be a part of this France team if they want to win this game, if they want to win a semifinal game, if they want to be a gold medalist. She has to be a part of that success.
Well, she had 9 points in the opener against the Czech Republic. She had 15 points against Montenegro. She did not score against Sweden after 18 minutes, taking 3 shots, and tonight she's over. So
she needs to get involved. They need to figure out how to get her involved. I don't want to see her, you know, forcing up shots or taking bad shots, but you need to get one of the best players in Europe, one of the best players in France for sure, the ball in a scoring position and an opportunity for her to score.
So we're at halftime. It's France on top 35-32. We'll be right back before the start of the second half. Oh, beautiful pass to Tanili from Zandalasini, taking the shot clock all the way down to the end.
Banovic step back three is good.
Up ahead it goes to Delar, and Belgium is stormed back to take the lead.
Well, Beck, little jump shot, two is good.
Pena for three. Dato, what a play! Rebounded it and then passed in the same motion. Well, Kim Mestag, you see, has 10 points, and it's a big reason why Belgium were able to claw back. Pretty big deficit in that first quarter against France. France led by as many as 15 points, and Belgium then came back to take the lead. But France then I think scored the last 3 baskets and lead at 35-32 at the break. Sandrine Groot started very hot. She's got 10 points, 7 points, 3 rebounds. And Shona, I know you were just down on the floor trying to find any possible gems of information.
Yeah, you know, had the opportunity to talk to Jo Leedham, who plays for Great Britain, congratulating her on her and her teammates on their first ever semifinal at a major FIBA competition, at a FIBA EuroBasket competition. So congratulations to them. Congratulations to Spain, we know, are moving on as well. And I was also trying to find the stat sheet that hasn't come by this at halftime yet.
Well, do you think Great Britain will have a chance to beat either of these 2 teams?
You know what the best part is right now for Great Britain? They've already made history. They've already made noise. They've already qualified for that so important top 6 finish here to be able to go play in the Olympic qualification tournament. They have nothing to lose. They have nothing to prove. So when you play with no pressure and you love playing with your teammates, and Jo Leedham, I think, is one of the great leaders of this Great Britain team. She's like, you know, we enjoy it. We enjoy playing together. We have passion. And when you have a player like Temi Fagbenley,
yeah.
Anything is possible, let's be honest.
I know there's some nervous looks on the faces of the French delegation sitting in front of us. They probably know they should, well, perhaps should have a bigger lead. Maybe not entirely happy with how this game has developed. That's really the way it should be, though. It shouldn't be easy, should it?
But, you know, they came out hot, they looked great, and then they just started taking, in my opinion, too many outside shots for France, and they weren't going in, so they needed to slow things down. You know what I like right here is we see Joanna's in the first 5 beginning of this third quarter, and they need to get her going.
Right from 0, you go under, and you have the chance to go red. One, red on the
Came in averaging 8 points. She's going to go to the WNBA, isn't she?
She is. She's heading to the New York Liberty with her French teammate, Bria Hartley. Kim Mestag will return to the WNBA. Emma Messiman will return to the WNBA.
And they would like nothing more than to return with another finish on the podium, all of them. Make the journey a little bit easier over across the pond. Third quarter action underway between France wearing the white and Belgium in the dark uniforms and attacking the basket. France to the left, and immediately Johannes scores with a drive to the basket. So I think Garnier probably agreed with us and everybody else that you better get Johannes involved or this will be a disaster. Potentially, anyway. I mean, if they want to go ahead and win this thing, not just this game, but this tournament, you know, they do need her. And Waters, late in the shot clock, and more of the same from Belgium, just how they started the first half, a little bit out of sync.
Yeah, but you know what, Jeff? They cannot start the same way they started the start of the game, because to come back twice like that will just take way too much energy, and I don't think they have enough firepower to do that.
Well, now the turnover, and a little 1-2. Now, Messiman threw it back to Delar, and then Delar was trying to get it back to Messamon, which I thought might have been the right. Yeah, but I can see why Messamon felt like Delar could have
maybe
taken
a
it
little
all the way.
pass fake by Delar to and then go up for a layup.
She gets it to Mestag. So that was an opportunity that went by the wayside. Mestag knocked away from Gruda, but France got it back. For France, on top by 5. And another 2 for the French, and suddenly with Gruda and Johannes, they've come out and up their lead. Allemand, well, that was important for the Belgian Cats. Almost another turnover. You got to watch Mestag. She'll be a disruptive force out there defensively. And then Waters is getting in position, trying to draw the charge, but the referee
said play on.
Yep.
I think she might have tried to, again, pull one of those veteran moves and flopped a little bit, and didn't work out, let's put it that way.
Messamon to Waters, and the ball falls kindly to Belgium again. Belgium kind of standing around now. Allemand sprints, gets it over to Messamon. Now a Pupa for France. Yayi pauses, takes it in, tries to make an acrobatic shot. 7 points to lead for France. Messamon drives in, takes the contact, and that's usually where she's good. She can absorb it and score.
Good job by Messamon. Again, you know, she missed. I thought that was an easy shot, her last shot attempt. So I think this is a good sign. Messamon getting the and one, and you know, maybe this will kind of spark her shooting. There you see it. She's only 4 of 12, which is incredibly not characteristic for her and her abilities. So I'd be surprised if she continued to miss shots that she's very capable of shooting.
Delar kind of nudged Johannes as she got to the baseline, knocked her out, and the referee called a foul. A Pupa to Johannes. That might have been forcing it a bit. Quick pass to Delar from Messamon. Bounce pass, boy, great recovery from Johannes defensively, but then she saves it in bounds. And effectively, kind of the cardinal sin, isn't it?
You say never save the ball on your end defensively because of a situation kind of like that. I mean, Belgium did have to make an extra pass.
So that makes it a 2-point game again, 41-39. And the drive and the foul on Waters. There are the points they just registered. So it's 41-39. Delar goes out, Judy Van No comes in, Rahman comes in. Judy's playing her usual big game tonight.
And you know, a lot of these players played together, played against each other. A lot of them have played in France. Messamon played in Villeneuve d'Ascq. Julie Allemand is going to be with Marie Johannes this year in Lyon, playing in EuroLeague for the first time, the club. Tony Parker's club. Julie Van Loo played in France. Kim Mestag is going back to France.
And me and got position, and Rahman just let her go. The lead grows back to 6 points. Catches it, turns, goes up, takes the contact, or takes the tough shot, almost makes it. Again, France with a chance to build a little bit of a lead, bigger lead. Gruda has the shot blocked, but the foul called on Messaman. Walks to the line. Alaman comes out. Messaman having words with the referee. That's the previous basket. Yayi out, shoving on back in. Gruda seems ageless, doesn't she?
You know, she was just so good at such a young age as well. So she's been with this senior team since she was late teenager. So
Rahman goes in strong and absorbs the contact like Messaman and makes it, and will go to the line for a three-point play. Rahman has been, her level of play has increased so much in this EuroBasket that
as this tournament's gone on, yeah.
She's almost a revelation in a way. I don't think she was particularly outstanding last year. And Carpio comes in and commits the foul. Carpio getting into it with the French fans. It's a shame she's not fully healthy, because she's entertaining when she's at her best. Pupa pulls up. Soft touch gets her the friendly bounce. Carpio. Oh, no look pass. Nice finish by Rahman. Well, that was well done by Carpio. 20 points in the paint for France, 26 for Belgium. Johannes trying to go to work, and an offensive foul called on Chevignon. Chevignon. My French is not as good as yours.
Here you see that wonderful pass by Caprio there. She is exciting, but she also tries to be a little too fancy sometimes, which she turns it over as well.
And a foul called on, is it Chartreux? So, Chartreux rather. I think it's you know, it's a situation for Belgium where they're going to live with the good and the bad of Carpio, because she does have outstanding ability at times and perhaps not many options. And Julie Van Loo goes to the line and makes the first one. And Alemán looks on from the bench. You can see she's been working hard. She deserves a breather. And then somebody from Belgium got into the lane too early. I don't know if it was Van Loo herself. So back to a 3-point deficit. France 6 of 7 at the line, Belgium 12 of 16. Chartreux gives it to Gruda, who goes in. Only black shirts, black and red. Pass back to Mestag. She gets it to Messaman. Gonna pass it around. Mestag, good! We've got a tie game again.
And, you know, I don't know why, but it feels like, again, France should be up, but meanwhile, it's a tie game.
Here's Gruda, though, catches it down low. Hey, the game gets hot. Maybe it's struggling a little bit, go inside.
Yeah, absolutely. You go to Gruda, you go to one of your veterans, someone who has always consistently been able to score for you.
Gruda's got 17 points already. And a foul as Messamon does an outstanding job catching that pass. And also Carprieux did a great job of getting into the lane and delivering the pass. Foul France. You know what I'm surprised by? Third game of the day. Mestag gets a deserved breather. I'm surprised Bria Hartley hasn't been more influential. I thought early on it looked like she would be. And I don't know. I mean, she seems like a very good player, but just another French player, if you know what I mean. I thought she might be the tipping point for them.
You know, she is only 2-6. She does have 3 turnovers on the game, so maybe things aren't coming easily for her either. I mean, keep in mind, she's been with this team for about a month now, but you do have an advantage. This team got together May 26th, I believe, and she wasn't there. So it's difficult integrating someone. And, you know, Bria Hartley plays with Ipupa Fenerbahce, and the coach there was Valerie Garnier. So they all know each other. Bria Hartley was there during the qualification round for this tournament, but it's different when you're there all together for the entire summer.
She plays the WNBA.
Yes.
By the way, Linskens is back in the game. So Messamon taking a breather. So this is an important phase here. Messamon out of the lineup. Johannes is online, but a little bit long. I like Johannes more when she's driving to the basket, personally. I know she can shoot it, but here's Julie Van Loo, and here's Johannes with the rebound. Now see if she can get something in transition. She's gonna hold it. No, she's gonna knife her way in. There you go. She delivers the pass. Much more dangerous. I mean, either she can get to the rim or she can dump it off.
And her and Alexia Charteroux, who was on the receiving end of that nice pass by Johannes, have such a great connection. They played together for the last few years in Bourges now. And when the two of them are on the court and they're connecting, it's really beautiful basketball.
Short. There she is again. Johannes over to Bria Hartley. Way too hard. Rahman, beautiful pass to Linskens. I tell you, everything Rahman does is right. Have you noticed that? I mean, she does make smart decisions.
Yeah, I think she is a very high IQ basketball player. And right there, that was just a poor mental breakdown defensively by France.
Johannes gets in the lane. I still like her closer, shooting the basketball like she was there rather than stepping outside and putting up some wild three-pointers. Rahman down low to Alaman. Look at this again. Linskens. Belgium are passing it around, and they've taken the lead. They're not settling for bad shots.
Exactly. That was a beautiful execution, unselfish basketball, and they got the best possible shot out of it.
Hartley tripped up by Julie Alamand.
First personal foul, Team Belgium, number 55, Julie Alamand. Substitution, Team France.
That was the passing play on the previous possession by Belgium. As they take the lead, and look at who's on the bench cheering. It's Mestag, it's Messamon. Just seems like it takes a while for Belgium to get going. And, you know, France, of course, had those opportunities, which they were taking. They were building the lead, but instead of, like, stuffing the life out of them, they made
mistakes.
And they let them come back in the game. And Bria Hartley incredibly misses 2 free throws. So France right now really struggling, really scuffling.
And what I like for Belgium right now, they're doing a good job. And Messman's on the bench. Waters is on the bench. Kim Mestag is on the bench.
There's Hannah Mestag driving in. And good job by Rahman to drive in, but a little bit of a crazy shot. The final 10 seconds ticking off the clock on the third quarter. Pupa over to Miam. Still a little bit of time. Hartley gets it up off the rim. And they do get it right at the buzzer. The Chevajon with the putback has stuck with it.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a good sign heading to the change of quarters.
I mean, Coach Mestag of Belgium must be disappointed with that. 3 shot attempts, and then finally you see Sarah Chevajon just staying with the play and getting the 2 points for France. It's not something, it's a bad feeling when that happens at the end of a quarter if you're, a team that's made a run. Here you see 54-54, couldn't really be much closer. And this is what we expected from this game. Quick look at the stats, 53% compared to 45, 78% free throw shooting compared to 67. Really, again, that's the difference.
Well, 3 quarters down. The winner of this game will end up playing Great Britain in the semifinals. The clearly the surprise team in this women's EuroBasket. Spain have also won their game. They will play the winner of Serbia, Sweden in the other semifinal. Rahman has 10 points. Messaman and Kim Mestag 13 points apiece. 9 points for Julie Allemand. And it's Belgium that start the fourth quarter with possession. Allemand back to Hannah Mestag. That's a long 2 if it goes. And Linskin's given him something since she's come off the bench. She scored, she gets the rebound there. Now she takes it down low and she goes up. And there you go. That's the Linskins that we saw last summer.
Yeah, she's had a quiet tournament, I would say, so far, but she's done a great job for them, especially in this last stretch she's been on.
Look at this, bothering the shot by a Pupa, but Mian gets in for the offensive rebound. And Linskins knocks it away. And then Mestag commits a foul. And that was late in the shot clock, 5 seconds. Hannah Mestag.
And what I think, there you see the beautiful play by Linskins. We just see Emma Messman checking back in for Rahman. So Messman's shooting 30%, almost 31%. Which is incredibly uncharacteristic for her. I could see her really taking over here in this fourth quarter. And there you see she forced the turnover. Well, came up in Hannah Mestag's hands, but that was all because of Emma Messman.
They knew the pass was coming.
You got to feel good if you're Belgium up 2 and Emma Messman has not had one of her better games.
Here's Villar over to Messaman. And like her, she can hit the shot, but I like her going to the basket more. And now the quick pass to Miam. And Allemand knocks the ball away. And now she hustles up and catches the pass.
I mean, really, Jeff, this comes down to...
Allemand drives in!
Maybe someone like Allemand taking over, but it comes down to this last 8.5 minutes left in this game. Who wants it more? People got to dive on the boards. You got to rebound. You got to offensive rebound, defensive rebound. There you see Julie Allemand, 11 points, 5 of 8 shooting.
That's a good move, but she was denied by guess who? Linskins.
And, I think Pupa does a great job of getting to the basket, but help comes, and she is a lot shorter. I think she needs to try and look for her teammates and create for someone else when she gets that deep.
Messaman, tough shot! in the lead. The biggest of the game for Belgium, 6 points with 7:55 remaining, and Garnier calls timeout.
Here we see Ipupa. I mean, like I said, great job, but it's going to be hard for her to score over Linskens and Messamon. And there, honestly, that was great defense by Alexia Chartreux, but even better offense by the star of Belgian basketball, Emma Messamon.
C'est Sandrine qui roule. Elles sont latérales, donc ici on a des solutions. D'accord? Ou l'extra passe. Et depuis qu'à 45, on a joué un peu sur le pic. Ouais, côté.
Look at the offensive rebounds for Belgium, 8, as well as 7 second chance points.
For Chiara, with the screen, Antonia, you go with the main screen. I can get open.
Look at the points in the paint. 36 for Belgium, 26 for France. Well, what a great game this has turned out to be. Linskens has become sort of an X factor here late in the contest. And Rahman doing her typically good work in this EuroBasket. And this time Alamon passing to Linskens. And the big question is, can Belgium hold on now? And also, who's going to get the ball for France? Surely it would be Gruda. Well, she doesn't, but then she gets it herself. And then the ball knocked out of her hands. Ipupa has it. The winner advances to face Great Britain in the semifinals. Ayayi, short. Messamon with the rebound. Boy, Ipupa almost getting the steal. And that was a turnover. She didn't get it across midcourt in time. And it was Alamon quite clearly not able to break past midcourt. She was bothered by Ipupa. That was Chartreux cheering on that last make. I think Ipupa is crucial here with her quickness and her defense, her ability perhaps to force turnovers. Here's Gruda. Chartreux, and look at the Belgian defense forcing the turnover, the shot clock violation.
And, you know, I was just about to harp on Belgium, you know, that turnover by Julie Allen. She didn't get it over in the 8-second backcourt, but her teammates had no idea that she was struggled and pressured and didn't even turn around and give her a release pass. Oh. And then offense.
Ipupa fouls Alamon.
Down on this end, and France was not aware of the shot clock. I mean, that's just not possible. And these are two, you know, experienced teams now, especially France. Those are things that can't happen the 7-minute mark in the fourth quarter of the quarterfinals.
The dump to Linskens. Now she's going to go to work. She's going to pass it. Great hands by Bria Hartley. Alamon late to get it in. She does get it in. Linskens to Messamon. She takes a hand to the face by Hartley.
We've seen her
inadvertently
in the last couple games take a few hits. And keep in mind, Belgium came out of the group of death. Yeah, right in the face. Good call by the ref. I mean, an easy call by the ref.
I'll tell you, Messamon takes the punishment, doesn't
she? Really does.
She really.
She's a player. She is bruised all over.
There's a lot of players that wouldn't, you know, that might lash out. She just takes it. You got to really admire her for that. Here it is, the pass. Messamon.
I think France got lucky there, to be honest.
Surely this drought is not going to continue for France. Hartley back outside to Ipupa on the baseline. Good. Well, Ipupa, I think it's her defense which really gives her the advantage, but she does.
Have
she's
the
shown
ability
tonight
to score,
yeah. And those little jump shots. Linskens gets it back. Under 6 minutes remaining. I'm starting to feel nervous like I was in that Hungary Great Britain game. Shot clock winding down. Linskens, well, they're going to take a tough one, and that's not going to go in. Great D by France, and Belgium kind of standing around a little bit. Villar picked. Now she goes. Bria Hartley did the good work to get it in inside and then missed a shot. And Belgium striking quickly, and Alemán holds it up. The Belgian Cats. Linskens with a turn, but then she lost it, and the ball fell kindly to Belgium, and Mestag put it up. Villar gave it to Mestag, and the lead back to 6. Hartley to Gruda. Gruda backing up Linskens, tough shot, hand in the face, and she's fouled. I think you really have to, at all costs right now, give the ball to Gruda as close to the basket as you can and let her go to work.
Yeah, I agree with you. But that being said, France can't only rely on Gruda. And what worries me is that they have other people who are very, very, very capable of scoring.
Well,
Johannes just checked in. We see Charteroux checked in. But my question is, you know, Johannes has only put up 4 shots. She's made 1. That was a layup early in the beginning of the third.
Right.
Does she have the confidence? She was 0 for 3 in the last game, 0 points. Does she have the confidence right now with 4:47 to, you know, take over and shoot with confidence?
I would run something with Ayayi or Johannes penetrating and dishing. And a foul, a reach called on France. And with 4.5 minutes remaining. If you're a French basketball fan, you're nervous. If you're a Belgian basketball fan, you're nervous. If you're a fan of some other country watching this, you're nervous. This is a tight game. A lot at stake in this quarterfinal, obviously. The winner clinches a spot in the FIBA Women's Olympic Qualifying Tournament next year. And also will play for a spot on the podium. Villar, not option A, that's for sure.
And you know, there's been stretches, good job by Johannes drawing the foul there. There's been stretches where I think Belgium have played some of the most beautiful basketball we've seen in this tournament. And then there's also been long stretches where forced shots, late shot clock situations, not pretty basketball, really. And last year, for the most part, they were able to put together maybe not quite 40 minutes of beautiful basketball, but 35 minutes.
Well, this is interesting. Villar has some blood or something, so Hannah Mestag comes into the game. So it's really more of a 3-guard lineup for Belgium. 3 guards and 2 pivots, or you could say Mestag perhaps. Sorry, Messeman playing the 4, but I would be tempted to put Raman back in, because she's been sitting for a few minutes now. Johannes for 3, off the back of the iron, and Hannah Mestag called for the foul. And again, you know, I just don't like that shot. I like her driving to the basket.
You know, she trust me, she is very capable of knocking down that kind of shot. There you see the field goal percentages for both teams.
Yep, spot
Can't
on,
get much closer.
42%, yep. Pupa, she's done some damage. Gruda, tough shot.
That was good defense by Linskens, in my opinion, too, but that was just a big-time shot by a big-time player, Gruda.
Well, we've had some big-time performances today. Obviously, Timmy Fekbanli from Great Britain, and now we're seeing it from Gruda. Maybe she is going to put her team on her back and carry them to victory. She's got 23 points and 6 rebounds. Probably a good timeout for Belgium. Well, I think we have a chance to go down and listen to the huddle. Let's hear what Coach Mestag says.
Alswini, when we have side picks, we go trap. We go to trap, okay? Ready behind, okay? And we are doing a good job. Okay. And offense, keep it easy. And at the end, I want her into the ball, or into a top screen, or into an open up situation, okay?
Sandrine ici. D'accord, et on joue un pic avec Sandrine à l'opposé. Après,
there you see Gruda's stats that we just talked about.
So for Belgium, we can look for Alemán to get the ball late in the shot clock, or maybe 10 seconds, 8 seconds.
Yeah, and here you see France kind of picking up full court. Great idea.
Has to hurry. She does get it over just in time. Alemán. That gets it to Emma, and now here she is. So she got it with 6 seconds. And quickly, through Messamon, she turns, puts it up on the baseline, and the battle for the ball comes down to France. Apupa. She can tie it with a 2. France can tie with a 2 or even get a 3, and Alemán commits a foul that puts Apupa on the line.
And that was not a smart foul. I mean, there was no reason. Apupa wasn't attacking the basket.
Feel the momentum shifting all of a sudden to France. Big moments. Clearly at the line, and Apupa misses this one. Frustration for the French faithful. Nerves. Nail biting. Apupa makes 1 of 2. Still plenty of time in this one. A lot of things can happen over the final 3 minutes and 10 seconds. On with 6 seconds again. Gruda steps out. She gets it to Emma Messamon, who has a great finish.
What a beautiful pass, but then an even better finish by Emma Messamon. I mean, that's tough. I feel like Apupa and Gruda played good defense the first time, the second time, then the third time, it's just difficult.
Oh, great defense by Linskens. You've got Ayayi and Johannes out there, and they can put the ball and go to the basket, put the ball on the deck, and Linskens has just been terrific in this quarter.
You know, I'm guessing France is aware, but there's only 7 seconds on the shot clock.
Apupa for 3. Oh! Thought it was going in. And Mestag gets to the ball. I couldn't quite see from my angle. See, okay, here we go. So she was able to throw it off of Mia. Boy, what an effort that was. Crunch time, Apupa's defense coming to the fore. She gets the steal. Bounce pass to Gruda. 1-point game again. Apupa now clearly her influence on defense crucial for France.
Yeah, you said it. She's made things very difficult for Julie Alemán.
Messamon turns, goes up. Oh, that was a big time move.
I mean, between Gruda and Messamon, their ability to make these big time plays and scores for their teams, it's really incredible to watch.
That was just spin, but here's Apupa again. Bounce pass to Miam. And Mestag with the rebound, hands it off to Alemán, coming up on the 1.5-minute mark. 3-point lead for Belgium. Can they close this deal out? Dilar takes a tough shot and was fouled in the end by Johannes. France go out of this game. I think questions have to be asked. What has happened to Johannes, as you did? One of the most exciting talents in European basketball, and it's not working tonight.
You know, I know she does get frustrated with herself and her performances, and if she doesn't really find her rhythm on offense, I think mentally the game becomes tough for her. But as a coaching staff, she's been, you know, with Coach Garnier since the Olympics.
Boy, 2 big misses for Dilar.
So for me, Valerie Garnier and the coaching staff of France have to know how to get Johannes involved and get her playing her best, and they haven't yet. They haven't done that for her in 2 games now.
Free throw line is crucial. 2 huge misses by Dilar. Now, Miam back to Pupa. Shot clock winding down. She puts up a little bit of a prayer. Linskens with the rebound. And now France starting to look like they're in real trouble.
I mean, Jeff, it's a three-point game. There's a lot of time left, but Belgium are very good free throw shooters, so you don't want to put them on the line either.
Mesdag takes a three, bounces off the front of the rim.
That would have been a dagger, but you know, it's a one-possession game. You have a Yai very capable of knocking down threes. You have Hartley. You don't have to take a three here either. You can just get a good shot and a good
Hartley
basket.
drives down the lane, penetrates and scores. What will France do? They'll obviously go for the steal. Alamon has it. She gets ahead. She makes the pass, and a foul was called.
I'm not sure if France thought Belgium were going to call a timeout on that play, but they weren't ready to play defense. I mean, Julie Alamond almost had a layup. That was a breakdown defensively if I'm France. I mean, good job, Bria Hartley, getting to the basket, scoring. And I think the teams, or at least France, thought a timeout was going to be called for Belgium to advance the ball.
Wow. Look at the situation. You saw the numbers from Mesdag. Oh, the third consecutive free throw missed by Belgium. 15 points and 10 rebounds for Kim Mesdag. You see that Bria Hartley now has 4 fouls. And if ever the free throw line, oh, she's missed that one as well. But Linskens, the ball bounced out kindly to Belgium. And now Ayayi has fouled Alamon again, and I have to say, Ayayi, perhaps a very intelligent foul.
I was going to say, that's not a bad foul.
Two.
Yeah, exactly, Jeff. She just missed 2. And I said this Belgium team is a very good free throw shooting team. They are. So far in this tournament, they're shooting 82.8% from the free throw line. Tonight, they're only 14 of 22. And trust me, Julie Alamond is thinking about her last 2 misses.
Well, she came into this having made 8 in a row in this tournament. So
maybe she's recovered. She's recouped. I mean, this is a big shot.
This is a massive shot, and she hits it.
So she makes it a 3-point game. There's 17 seconds. There's still a lot of time. To be honest, France could go for an easy 2.
Oh, look, those guys, you thought they were Serbian fans, and look what it says. Basketball Belgium. So, what a great turnout for the Belgians and also for France. And if you're France, you say there's a lot of time.
I think there's a lot of time. It's a one-possession game. You don't necessarily have to go through a 3. Here you see their top scores. Maybe you go inside for Gruda quickly, and then you go for a steal, or you foul right away.
Yeah, but if you get an open 3, don't you take it?
Absolutely, you look at it. But
will Belgium
probably not
guard the
Gruda.
3-point line?
Andy Miam can shoot 3s. She hasn't shot a ton of them in this tournament so far.
Tonight, from 3-point range, France are just 4 of 17. However, Sevajon and Charteroux have each hit one of them. They're only make. They're not even in the game. And Ayayi and Hartley 1 of 4.
And France are shooting 43.9% in this tournament from 3 before this game. Obviously, that'll go down a little bit today. That being said, you know, Ayayi shooting 55% from 3. Marine Joanna's 43. She's not even on the floor right now. You know, Charteroux 50% in this tournament so far. Ipupa 57%. So they can shoot 3, but I'm not saying if you have an easy 2 and an open 2, you kind of go for your open shot no matter where it is. You run a play and you go for your open shot.
Well, Ayayi inbounds it to Hartley. Well, they're going to take the 3. It's Ayayi for 3. Oh, it rims out. Messman knocks out to Hartley. She takes a 3. She hits it. She has tied the contest.
And you know what? In my opinion, that shot by Ayayi was kind of a mental breakdown by Mesdag. Good job tipping the ball out.
Wow.
I'm not sure who did it. Was it Andy Miam who tipped the ball out to Bria Hartley? And then what a dagger. But, Jeff, there's 10.3 seconds left. So, Belgium, here we see the reactions. Yeah.
Well, I mean, come on. You're talking about a great player in Hartley.
Yeah.
She hasn't played great all night tonight.
No, it's been
that's
slow,
why they brought. That was like Céline Dumerc territory, who's sitting right next to us, in fact, doing commentary for French TV.
I have Chiara.
France, 9 of 13 at the line. Belgium, 16 of 24.
I mean, that's the game changer right there. If Belgium had made a few more free throws, they'd be up right now, Jeff.
On choisit de défendre.
But, okay, so there's 10 seconds left. There you see three-point shooting percentages. Not great by either team. 10 seconds left. You're going to hold it, but you want to get a good shot attempt as well. But you don't want to score too early where France is going to be able to call a timeout and get a shot opportunity while advancing the ball. And you know, I mean, Julie Allemande made up for her 2 missed free throws, but it's just, you think about these things. And what would have happened had she hit them earlier? Emma Messman not having one of, you know, the performances that we're used to seeing from her.
Well, you got to go to Messaman, or does Linskin somehow get a touch on this at the end? Pupa makes it very dangerous, and look at that, the defense, and boy, Messaman came close to a push. She hands it off, and we have got overtime. They just could not run their play at the end. Excellent defense by France, and I have to say, I think the refs did a good job of the no call there. We'll have to see.
Take a look, yeah. I mean, none of them called a foul, so there's no, you know, they have no reviews.
They denied Allemande the ball.
It looked like a jump ball to me.
Yeah, that was a great no call by the refs. And also, I have to say, you have to credit Pupa. She was not going to allow Allemande to get the ball. Did you see that? They tried to hand it off to her right at the end.
That fan's not happy.
They're just calling from potentially qualifying for the Olympic qualifiers next year now to having to win this game in overtime.
And keep in mind, Belgium's never played in an Olympic Games. We saw, you know, the Cinderella story last year, finishing 4th at the FIBA Women's World Cup 2018. Here you see shooting percentages. From 2-point range, both teams are doing well. What the big number right there is the free throw shooting, and with the amount of attempts that Belgium have had, really, to only shoot 66%, that's the game. Imagine they had hit one or two more free throws, they would be celebrating right now. Instead, they've got to play 5 more minutes. Jeff, they played in the group of death. They had 3 tough games. They had a hard game for the qualification game against Slovenia as well, and now they got to play 5 more minutes. You want to talk about tired? Woo.
Hey, it was looking up from that angle, you could see how maybe the Pupa came from behind. She definitely got all ball there, but coming from behind, I just think that the Pupa did a great job of denying Allemande the ball. Anyway, France start the overtime period with possession. They've got the momentum, having tied it to force the overtime. And now, Bruda's fouled and goes to the line by Messaman. So, Messaman rather. She just got her on the right arm, and can't say enough good things about these things. This woman, Sandrine Bruda, who will, I think, be probably considered one of the all-time greats of French women's basketball when it's all said and done. She's played in a lot of big games and made a lot of big shots. 27 points for her now, 8 rebounds. Villard hands it off to Messaman, partly going for the steal. Bounce pass, and Villard misses the layup, but Linskin's there for the putback. Villard really struggling to put the ball, and I'm just wondering why we're not seeing Rahman, because she's been so good.
Because Linskin's doing a great job for them.
I guess she's...
Really, I mean...
But you wouldn't want to... Would you be tempted to play with 3 bigs?
No. Who, on a Yai? No, I'd want my... Or are you saying for Dillard?
Dillard. Well, the drive, Hartley, and another foul has been called.
And that's going to be Emma Messman's 4th foul, so... Obviously, she's going to stay in the game. You see the Belgian fans upset about that and saying she was straight up.
Look at the scratches on her. Look at the scratch on her left shoulder.
When
Look
I
at
say
under the eyelid.
she gets beat up and continues to get up every time she's knocked down.
Hartley has paid dividends here. Late, she had the three-pointer, and now she's made 2 free throws. Picked up that dribble. Got it to Alemon. Look at Apupa again. Look at Apupa's defense coming up with the play and forcing the foul. Apupa in this game, particularly late with her defense, has been perhaps the most important factor for France.
Yeah. I mean, right there. Really, she's made things very difficult for Alemon in regard to, you know, passing, even dribbling the ball up and passing half court. I mean, you could almost say that Apupa has sort of been, we keep talking about Gruda, but Apupa has been maybe the difference maker.
Yeah, I think she has.
In this game. And it's as though she never tires.
Not exactly. Terrific effort from number 0. Here's Alemon. Again, being hounded by Apupa. Belgium trying to get the ball down low. A foul called on Hartley. That's number 5. She's out of the game. And I think they'll be happy that she's leaving Belgium. Number 5. Well, she made her impact on the game. She hit the big 3 to tie it. And she leaves the contest. These missed free throws are proving ruinous for Belgium.
And we do know, Jeff, that the loser of this game will play Hungary for that top 6 finish and more importantly, the ticket to... Oh my.
They almost turned it over, and then they got tangled up. France looking for a foul. Alemon gets inside. Mestag for 3 and missed everything.
They're tired. You've seen it in their free throw shooting. And there's a reason why they're tired. They've played a lot of games. They've played, in my opinion, they've had harder games than France has. And France are coming into this game 3 days off. So if you had asked me before the game, I would have said France need to run away with it just because they've had time to recover and prepare more than Belgium have.
Good job by denying Gruda. And the ball goes off of Belgium, out of bounds. Belgium really struggling here at the end.
I mean, we saw France come back, you know, down 3-4 points with less than a minute left. So by no means is this game over.
And Gruda goes in and scores. And she has got 29 points now. 5 points to lead. Messamon, she puts up a 3. Oh, goodness me. She had enough legs to hit a big shot like that. Now Messamon's numbers.
She is only 7 of 19 this game.
9. She's got 22
Sorry,
points.
8 of 20, yeah. 8 of 20 with 22 points.
Apupa catches it in the paint. She brings it out. Shot clock winding down. She goes right at Alemon. Oh, what a shot from Apupa! Now Mestag, look at her. She's hounding her. Messamon patiently has it, fades back. Oh, she is such a clutch performer. So talented.
She's so calm and under control, too. It's really, her game is one of young women watching this, young girls should be trying to mirror Emma Messamon's game.
Gruda inside and fouled by Messamon. She is out of the game.
Oh, that is a big loss for for Belgium. I mean, Bria Hartley going out was a loss for France, but not like Emma Messman going out for Belgium.
Wow. Oh.
So she's actually, that's a rough call. I mean, Gruda went into her with her elbow. And anyone who's played against Gruda knows what it feels like to get one of those elbows.
Oh, have you gotten one
Yeah,
before?
she likes to play with her elbows a little bit. More so on a post up, her little spin move she does.
Well, that takes it to 4. Belgium now without their best player, the all-world Messerman. And somebody's got to step up. Rahman back in the game. Mestag. Shot clock winding down. Rahman's got to put it up, and she travels. And without the outlet that Messerman is, Belgium looking like they're wobbling. And you go back and remember that three-pointer after the offensive rebound for Hartley. And really just so many big plays by Apupa as well. Mestag making life difficult for Yayi. Now, Linskin's guarding Gruda. And goes up again. And she has just been a constant source of points for this French team tonight. 33 points. Breathtaking stuff.
She really has, and the best part is she's 10 of 14, Jeff. I mean, she's not forcing it. She is just knocking it down. You saw the elbow there, huh?
No, I was just saying she even got hit on the arm while she was shooting it. It looked like she still made it.
And you know, she's the only one shooting free throws well. She's 11 of 12, so no matter what you do, you either try and foul her or not let her get the ball, maybe.
Remember this.
You know, this game of basketball, you can be so close, but you got to get to the finish line.
Yeah, Papa. Screen, all right? Diana.
Free throw shooting, a huge difference, 65% for Belgium.
Okay, Ipupa will play defense like this. Maybe this pass.
19 assists, 12 turnovers, to 15 turnovers for Belgium.
And just talking about that woman right there, Sandrine Gruda. So the most points she's ever scored for France was 28 and 15, and today she has 33. So she has her record, and this is her 185th game playing for France. So
she may not be finished.
She may not be finished. I wouldn't be surprised if France qualifies for the Olympics. She will be there.
Well, France have scored 17 points off turnovers. Belgium just 3. Here's Alemán going hard to the basket. Does a great job of shielding the ball from Apupa. Gets it back to 4. Now they need a stop. They need the possession back.
Yeah, there's no need to foul if you're Belgium. You just have to play good defense. You got to finish it off with a rebound, and then you got to get down the other end and score fast.
Gruda passes it back out to Johannes. She gets it back to Yayi inside, and Apupa gets rejected. Interesting how she ended up with the ball at the low blocks.
And you know what's surprising there? Gruda had the ball in a pretty good position. I think she should have gone up with it instead of passing it out to Johannes.
And now to Lenskens. She goes in strong, scores and fouled! Unbelievable. Is there going to be another twist in the tail in what has been a remarkable quarterfinal? Lenskens has just been reborn tonight. And misses the free throw.
Again, the Achilles heel of this Belgium team has been their free throw shooting, Jeff, and it has continued in this overtime. It really has. I mean, they're 17 of 27. And this is a team going into this game that were shooting 82.8% from the free throw line. So I think that's a big sign of how tired they are.
Well, if she makes one, it's a 3-point lead. And now she makes 2. It should be a 2-possession game. You could always, if you're Belgium, hit a 3 and get fouled on the shot. I wouldn't rule that out the way this thing has gone, but
you know, we said it was going to be an exciting game. I'm not sure you and I thought it would be this exciting.
And Johannes, we've talked about her. She hasn't kind of been at the races, but she does the job there. Now quickly, Apupa again makes a play on defense, knocks it out. And
I mean, it doesn't matter. They're down 2 possessions, so you got to get a quick score.
if you're
Plain
France,
and simple, you got to get a quick score.
and you let them take you better not foul on the 3-point shot. That's all I can say.
See, she didn't need to step back.
She puts the 3 up. It's no good. And France have escaped in overtime. A cruel defeat for Belgium, but they've only got themselves to blame. They overcame a tough start and were in the ascendancy, and they looked good bets, but their free throw struggles really came home to roost tonight, and France punished them, winning in overtime, led by Sandrine Gruda and Olivia Pupa, 84-80. Well, it wasn't pretty for France, but they got really about as good a performance as they could get from Gruda at the right time. And Apupa, in my opinion, really came out and represented them well. In the fourth quarter, when they had their backs against the wall, in the overtime, those 2 players for me are the players of the game for France.
Yeah, absolutely, Jeff. I mean, Apupa ended up with 13 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, but the stat that really, 5 steals, I was just about to say, that's the stat. And they weren't even, there were so many more than 5 steals. Here you see the shooting percentages, and look at that. I mean, right away, everything's pretty equal except for the free throw shooting, and I said it just at the end of the game. The Achilles heel for this Belgian team was their free throw shooting. There you see the rebounds. I mean, everything is going to be equal except for free throw shooting percentage, and Belgium shot more free throws than France as well. See, the thing is, this is why I think Belgium were tired, and they didn't have it in their legs anymore. Here you see Gruda, 33 points, 10 rebounds. Joanna is okay, so we talked about how she needs to score, but she did contribute by 5 assists. Upupa with 5 steals there. I mean,
that just
honestly,
tells you right there that Apupa won the battle with Allemand.
Yeah.
You know, the 5
those
steals,
4 turnovers,
the 4 turnovers.
were, So,
and not to mention the fact that she denied her the ball in key situations.
I mean, if you know, Messman 24 points, and that's 24 points on a rough shooting night for her. But really, I think if Belgium were in any other group, they were in the group of death. If they were in any other group, I think they would have won this game today.
You think that took a lot out of them?
Yeah, because I think they would have probably finished first in their group. Then they would have had the same amount of days off. I mean, they came out a lot more energized than they did against Slovenia. But really, Jeff, if they hadn't had such a tough road, an extra game than what France has had to play, they would have. It would have been the difference, in my opinion, and Belgium would have had the win. Instead, the way things work, and that's sport, France is moving on to the semifinals, and you know, if it hadn't have been from the huge performance by Gruda and Ipupa, they wouldn't be there either. So moving forward, France need to somehow get Joanna's going, because they need her if they want to win this tournament.
Well, you know, as brilliant as Allemand was in the last game, I mean, she played well tonight. 6 of 9 from the floor. She had 4 assists, a couple of steals, but she also had some deficiencies in her game, notably at the free throw line, where she was 3 of 7. And she, of course, had those 4 turnovers, but I dare say a lot of players would have had turnovers against Apupa, because she is a real terrier out there. Linskens actually came on. You know, she rose to the occasion, and that's clearly good news for Belgium as they move forward. Lesseman obviously with the 24 points, the 4 rebounds, the 4 assists, the steal and the block, is their superstar. But it was France's night in the end. got to be able to close the deal. Belgium did not close the deal.
Free throw shooting, Jeff. It sucks that it comes down to that because I thought even with their struggles at times during the game, they did play well, and you know there were definitely moments where they deserved it. But if you can't knock down free throws, it can really kill you, and that's what we see. That's what we saw here in this game. And I mean, also little defensive breakdowns. You know, that three-pointer by Ayayi, she didn't make it, but
Look
they
at
didn't
that
get the
picture there.
rebound. Yeah.
Relief.
And then knock it out. Bria Hartley knocks down a three. It's just little. Fortunately, the game comes down to little things.
Well, these are the quarterfinals that have been played, and one more to come. So Great Britain edging Hungary in a thriller, Spain blowing out Russia, and France winning in overtime against Belgium. They were down 3, remember, until the Bria Hartley three-pointer with 10 seconds remaining, and then they won it in the overtime. Now hosts Serbia, taking on Sweden for the last remaining spot in the semifinals. Take on Spain.